captioning for News 12 is brought to you by Kenneth Nugent. From the station that's on your side, this is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
All new at 6 o'clock, we're hearing from a man who knows the dangers of drug addiction firsthand, and this time of year can be triggering.
I just always felt nobody understood the battle that I was facing.
Further side with resources to fight the flood of fentanyl in the CSRA. But first, it is cold, and it's going to stay cold for a while, Riley. We better buckle up because winter is definitely coming.
It absolutely is, and the official start of winter is actually tomorrow, so we are bringing it in right in time for this time of year. But it's been a cold, gray, and just kind of cloudy afternoon for us. A lot of wet weather still in the forecast this evening and tonight. Actually did get a report that we are seeing some sleet mix in here around the Augusta area, especially north of the interstate. Now, luckily, we are going to stay above freezing tonight, so there's not going to be any concern with any freezing conditions or black ice concern. We're going to stay in the upper 30s, so stay well above freezing, but just watch out for maybe a few sleet pelts to mix in with this rain this evening and tonight. It is going to continue into our evening forecast and most likely not dry out until we get to early tomorrow morning. Current temperatures across the region anywhere from around 39 to 41 degrees, and we've really been hovering around these temperatures all afternoon long. They've actually dropped a little bit since this morning. It is going to remain cold this evening for any plans you may have, so have the warm jacket, the umbrella. They're both going to be needed, and then we are anticipating temperatures most likely bottom out in the upper 30s by early tomorrow morning. The really frigid air shows up by Friday. We'll have an update there in just about 10 minutes.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. Local businessman Garnett Johnson got a new title today as he took the oath of office as the new mayor of Augusta. An Augusta native and local business owner, Johnson has big plans for the city once he takes office. News 12's Craig Allison talked to him to get a better idea of what the new mayor envisions for Augusta over the next 4 years.
Hardy Davis Jr. is still the mayor of Augusta until 2023 turns over. But after today's swearing-in ceremony, we caught up with Augusta's 85th newly sworn-in mayor, Garnett Johnson, and his plans for day one.
This city that I love so much, where I was born and raised, the son of a school bus driver, grew up in all the challenges of crime and poverty.
Friends, family, and co-workers gathered to hear the new direction for a city that's gaining a new leader for the first time in 8 years. Garnett Johnson focused on addressing the city's infrastructure and growth, and made it a point to include the entire city in those plans.
I was born in East Augusta. I now live in West Augusta. I operate a business down in the Central Business District, and I spent a lot of time in South Augusta, so I am parts of every facet of the city.
After the ceremony, he hosted a luncheon at the Augusta Museum of History where we asked him about his stance on addressing one of our city's deadliest challenges, crime.
Well, I think it's a community-wide effort. Not only the sheriff's office, but it takes the marshal's office. It takes the citizens that live in these neighborhoods. It takes people wanting to care to want to clean up their neighborhoods.
Augusta currently stands at a 5-year high monthly average for murder and gun violence, and tackling that will be a priority. While Garnett Johnson could see the flowers and fans from this vantage point right here, he'll be moving up to the mayor's chair right there in exactly 2 weeks' time for his first commission meeting on January 3rd. In Augusta, Craig Allison on your side.
All right, thanks for that, Craig. Another truck hit Olive Road Bridge this afternoon. It has happened countless times before, and the bridge usually withstands the damage, but this time a beam appears to have been knocked down when that crash happened just before 1:30 this afternoon. Crews came out to check the damage, and a witness says the truck was carrying concrete burial vaults. Heads up, voters in Georgia's District 129, you still have just under an hour left to head out to the polls and cast your ballot. There are 4 candidates running to fill the late Representative Wayne Howard's seat. Polls close at 7, and make sure you head to your assigned precinct to vote. A developing story we're covering out of Aiken. The Aiken Department of Public Safety says a woman was shot at a home on Greenville Street this afternoon. Officers responded to a disturbance call around 2:46. When officials got there, they say they heard shots fired themselves. The victim was taken to the hospital, and a suspect was taken into custody. Right now, authorities say it's not clear how severely that woman's injured. New tonight, we're hearing from an overdose survivor about the hope in the darkness he experienced using fentanyl. News 12's Will Rio introduces us to Hunter Dees, a man who used his experiences to help others at the Savannah Rock and Recovery Center in Aiken.
Hunter Mr. Dees is a U.S. Army veteran, but even after returning home from service, another war began.
I just always felt alone, and nobody understood the battle that I was facing.
For 25 years, he was addicted to opioids. He overdosed twice and was brought back by Narcan.
Imagine waking up every morning with 1,000 thoughts, and 989 of them are all directed towards the substance.
Now Dees is working to help people who are in a similar spot he was in. The only issue is resources are limited.
When a person reaches out for help from addiction, it's a short window that we have to react on that, because one day I'm crying out for help, and then the next minute those 1,000 thoughts are back again.
Jordan Lewis with the Aiken Center says there's only 2 long-term centers in the state that help uninsured people.
I've worked with several people that have died because I couldn't get them the resources that they need.
There are long wait lists, and it's often expensive. Lewis says every day people walk into his office needing immediate help. If he can't, he says it could be the last time he sees them.
The numbers will continue to rise on opioid deaths until we get those beds, until we get those detox units, until we get those inpatients that people can go to.
In Augusta, Will Rio on your side.
And the Aiken Center is a place where anyone can go if they need help with drug or alcohol addiction. They accept walk-ins anytime, and you can also visit Focus on Recovery Augusta or Savannah River Rock and Recovery on Facebook for more help and resources. All new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, Augusta National released a list of players who are being invited to compete in the 2023 Masters. News 12 Sports Director Dan Booth joins us now to discuss the players who've been invited and what this could mean for the future of the sport.
Thank you, Laura. Over the past several months, there's been a lot of talk about who will and will not be invited to the Masters. Today, we have the answer. According to the memo sent out by Augusta National Golf Club Chairman Fred S. Ridley, the previous criteria for qualifying for the Masters stays in place for the 2023 tournament. While he does not specifically name LIV, this would mean that previous Masters champions and other golfers who qualify but now play on the LIV Golf Tour will be eligible to play. This includes big names like Dustin Johnson, Bubba Watson, Patrick Reed, Phil Mickelson, and more. In his statement, Ridley discusses how divided men's professional golf has been recently and went on to say the invitations were sent out based on the current criteria, but adds that any future changes will be announced in April. You can find the entire list of invitees on our website, and I can guarantee you that I'll have more on this topic tonight at 11.
All right, big announcement there, Dan. Thank you. Cold temperatures are expected to stick around, with wind chills dropping into the single digits this weekend. While some of us will be finding ways to get cozy and keep warm in our homes, the reality for a lot of people is they'll be searching for a place to keep warm. These are dangerous temperatures we're talking about. News 12's Taylor Martin live from the Salvation Army Center of Hope. So, Taylor, what are they bracing for? What are those organizers trying to get in place before this cold spell?
The Center of Hope started check-in just about 2 hours ago at 4 p.m. and they told me they're expecting about 150 people, not only tonight, but for the rest of the weekend and through the cold. And I talked with volunteers earlier about how they're preparing to help people have somewhere warm to stay this weekend. Joseph Marley has volunteered at the Center of Hope for 7 months now. He says he feels fulfilled helping people every day, but especially when it's cold out and people have nowhere else to go.
It's cold outside, it's raining out there, there's people waiting to come in right now, their socks are wet. So, it's rough, it's rough.
At this time of year, the Center of Hope expects to see nearly 150 people per night. Over the past week of cold weather, they've seen more families coming through their doors than usual. Major Jonathan Raymer at the Salvation Army tells me they are constantly working to better serve the community.
So we want to continually do the best we can to serve as many people as we can, as best as we can. And so that can sometimes feel overwhelming, but we are constantly working through making it even better for those who are in need.
Although the Center of Hope is an emergency overnight shelter, they accommodate for cold weather by staying open all day, every day, so people don't have to return to the cold after an overnight stay. As for Joseph, he just hopes more people become more compassionate toward those who need help.
because a lot of people aren't even interested. They just go about their day-to-day lives and forget about folks that really do need help. They drive by them, or people are cold.
Lines here at the Center of Hope start at 3:30 p.m. every day, and check-in begins from 4 p.m. at 4 p.m. and lasts until 9 p.m. So if you're out in the cold and you need somewhere to go to get out of this weather, the Center of Hope is here to help.
All right, thank you for that report, Taylor. Definitely going to be very beneficial to have those warming centers over the weekend. Wind chills possibly as low as the single digits for us here in the river region. Update on our cold forecast just after the break.
Plus, we're on your side with what you need to know when exploring your travel options when you plan your next trip. Why you might not want to rule out the Augusta Airport. Coming up.
Limited to only the finest in men's clothing.
Airports are seeing a rush of travelers for the holidays, and anyone who may head out through Augusta, well, you might see some crowds, but of course, nothing like what you would see at larger airports. That's why we love flying out of Augusta. Our Maria Sellers is live in the airport, so what can travelers expect if they're going to be heading out? How early do they need to get there, Maria?
Well, Laura, I was here a little bit earlier today, and it wasn't super busy this morning, but it did pick up as those flights came in and it got closer to time for traffic. But leaders here say that, it's not going to be super busy for one set day. Rather, it's going to be spread out. So it'll be pretty busy the remainder of the holiday season. And of course, this airport isn't as known for being as busy as Atlanta or Columbia or some of the other airports near us. But travelers here say there are some advantages with flying out of a local airport.
If I went to Atlanta, it'd be packed and a lot of people.
Bianca Peoples is traveling from D.C. to visit home this holiday season. She says she chose to fly through Augusta because it's less crowded and easier.
So it was definitely a smooth process just because it was a direct flight from Washington to Augusta, so there was no problems. It was a smooth flight in only like an hour and a half.
Then there's Katya Dollywall, who says she's flying locally for a couple different reasons.
Because it's a 20-minute drive and my sister can drop me off. It's pretty smooth. The TSA is usually really nice.
But she is traveling internationally and will have some connecting flights.
It would be great to get more locations, but also it's nice to support, your area.
But the key to getting more destinations, more people traveling locally.
The airlines are looking at the numbers that are being booked to these cities to Augusta, and then they'll provide a direct flight.
We did the math calculating the total cost, including gas, on an American Airlines trip to D.C. on New Year's Eve from the Augusta, Columbia, and Atlanta airports. The total cost from Augusta was about $604, Atlanta about $419, and Columbia about $443. Of course, that could fluctuate with car rental costs and other factors, but according to our calculations, a trip is a little more expensive from Augusta. But leaders say there are other advantages to traveling locally, like fewer delays, a smoother transition, and being closer to home. And if you are planning to head out this season, here are some reminders. Be sure you get to the airport in plenty of time for your flight. And also, if you're traveling with gifts, don't wrap them and don't travel with snow globes, as those are all things that could be flagged by TSA when you go through security.
Okay, good advice there. Maybe bring that wrapping paper along so you can wrap it when you get there. Okay, and speaking of the Christmas week, we have First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale to tell us how chilly it's going to be.
Yeah, we are going to see some frigid temperatures. Luckily, it looks like most of the wet weather will be out of here by the time those cold temperatures show up. So hopefully not too many delays at our area airports. But we likely do have a few delays out there tonight. You can see widespread rainfall across Georgia, moving into South Carolina. This stretches all the way into the Gulf Coast, thanks to this area of low pressure that's just going to continue moving south of us for tonight. So rain chances will be with us this evening and not really be completely done until we most likely get well into the overnight hours. There is some sleet mixing in with some of this rainfall, but luckily our temperatures are well above freezing, and we are going to stay above freezing for the rest of tonight, so not expecting any black ice concerns. But it is going to be cold nonetheless. We'll drop down to the upper 30s as we head into the overnight and early Wednesday morning. Not ruling out that there's maybe an isolated shower or two during the day Wednesday, and with the cloudy skies all day long, that's going to keep our temperatures pretty cool once again tomorrow, only reaching the mid-40s for high temperatures. On Wednesday night into Thursday, those rain chances look to ramp up, most likely more scattered in nature, and our temperatures are going to stay pretty chilly throughout the day Thursday, as those cloudy skies should generally only allow us to maybe warm up to briefly 50 degrees by Thursday afternoon. Once we move past Thursday, that's when the big temperature drop does happen. So this low temperature you're seeing for Friday morning, that's actually going to be, this is your morning temperature. So in the morning Friday, it's going to be much warmer than what Friday afternoon will be. By Friday afternoon, we're going to see our temperatures drop below freezing. And then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, to even Tuesday into next week, we are going to see our temperatures drop like a rock and going to be well below average and actually concerning cold temperatures that could actually lead to some pipes bursting across the region. Here's a look at the wind chill. So this is what it's actually going to feel like as this front moves in on Friday. So this is 4:30 a.m. Friday before the sun is up. We're feeling like the 50s, but by the time we get to around 3 o'clock Friday afternoon, it's feeling like the mid-20s. If you're going to Atlanta for Christmas this weekend, those feel like temperatures will be at 10 degrees at 3 p.m. Friday afternoon. This is a frigid air mass, folks, straight from the Arctic, just moving in, and this is going to drop our wind chills most likely into the single digits here around Augusta. Atlanta could actually feel below zero at times early Saturday morning, and really anywhere across the southeast you're traveling to, it is going to be a frigid outlook for you. By Saturday afternoon, feel like temperatures still in the mid-20s. We'll drop back down into the teens, waking up early Christmas morning. By Christmas afternoon, we're at least starting to feel above freezing, but still very cold across the region. The National Weather Service in Peachtree City has issued a wind chill watch, so this is in anticipation of those frigid temperatures we were just looking at. This is going to be in effect Friday afternoon all the way through Saturday morning. So get ready, we could see some of these actually expand across the river region. We do have the first alert in effect starting Friday afternoon all the way through Christmas morning, and this is really for the threat of some strong wind gusts with that front, possibly up to 30, 40 miles an hour, and those temperatures below 20 for more than 6 hours could lead to pipes bursting. So I'm definitely going to want to drip a few faucets Friday night to Saturday morning. Cold outlook though all the way through Christmas and even most of next week.
Coming up, new changes to high school basketball in Georgia, how it's changing the game for players and for fans. Next in sports.
The live action
Possible.
on your sideline. Sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
The shot clock. Up until now, you really haven't heard it sound off at Georgia high school basketball games. But that is changing, and News 12's Alyssa Lyons tells us why.
I think it's the right time. As high school players, you want to go to the next level.
And now they'll play like it. From now on, all Georgia High School Association varsity basketball games will require a 35-second shot clock.
The goal of the shot clock is to try to help players be more efficient, but it's also designed to sit there and help your team sit there and players think at a higher level.
Implementing a clock was part of a three-phase deal. During the 2021 season, it was optional for tournaments and showcase games. Last year, it was elected by region. This year, it's mandatory.
It can affect the game with teams that are trying not to run with you and hold the ball offensively and make you play a lot of defense. So it can affect it on the smaller team.
Prior to the ruling, they operated without one, making it possible to hold possession for lengths at a time.
Previously, you could hold the ball for, 30, 40, 50 seconds to try to kill time off the clock so you can win the game. You can't do that with the shot clock. I mean, you got 35 seconds. In that 35-second time span, you got to either A, figure out how to sit there and score the basketball, or B, you're going to give the ball to the opponent.
Until the buzzer sounds, Alyssa Lyons on your side.
Thank you, Alyssa. Georgia is the 9th state to implement the shot clock. In South Carolina, shot clocks are optional for invitationals and showcases. The defending Class 2A state champion Westside Patriots have won both of their region games so far, but they only have a 5-4 record. Despite already having more losses than they did all of last year, they're leaning on the chemistry that they've built from playing together for years to help them get back on track.
Every team that we play, no matter who it is, they're gonna automatically, be out for us. They want that win. That's like Coach Hunter says, that's a good win on their resume. The way we've been playing recently, we kind of don't worry about that. We just figured out that the biggest target that we have on our backs right now is ourselves.
Tomorrow, Westside is competing in the Brooklyn KC Round Ball Classic against the TL Hannah Yellow Jackets.
All right, thanks for that, Dan. Looking ahead to our cold Christmas weekend, we are only going to see high temperatures barely get above freezing Saturday afternoon, up to around 40 by Christmas Day. Update on that 7-day again just after the break.
From the team that's always on your side, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Our first alert commitment to you is now 5 meteorologists, all the tools, the latest technology, and the largest team of 5 meteorologists. News 12, NBC 26 First Alert Weather, on your side.
All right, welcome back, folks. Here's a look at how much rain we've seen so far today. A little over a few hundredths of an inch, a little bit over a tenth of an inch in a few spots. We'll likely double these totals as we continue to track rainfall into the overnight hours. Heading into our Wednesday, though, it does look mostly dry, not ruling out maybe there is a stray sprinkle or two, but generally just cloudy. And you can see our temperatures are going to remain pretty cold, waking up in the upper 30s, only ending the afternoon into the mid to low 40s. And then more rain to the forecast Thursday and Friday, ahead of this strong cold front. So another reason why we have issued the first alert Friday into Saturday are these strong wind gusts. We actually could see wind gusts between 30, maybe up to 40 miles an hour at times. So these gusty conditions could cause some minor issues for us, but it's really just this type of wind combined with these frigid temperatures. Take a look at this. This is a zoomed in view of these wind chill values down into the single digits waking up early Saturday. Definitely keep it here for weather updates the rest of the week.
And that'll do it for us, but we have more news and weather coming up tonight at 11. We'll see you there.